Hey everyone.
Hello.
Look at who we've got.
Hey, I'm
welcome,
back.
Welcome to Painting Happy Little Minis. I'm Rick.
I'm Jeff.
And Jeff here is here to take the place of Dave, who we hope is having a great time over in jolly old England.
I talked to him 2 or 3 times already. He's having a blast.
Right. He's over there with helping promote the book that him and Mel Bose are working on, the Terrain Essentials. So if you guys haven't checked it out yet, please go take a look at that over on the Kickstarters. So Jeff is with us today to help us paint some Mice and Mystics by Plaid Hat Games. The miniatures in this game are really cute. So there's these little mice and other little creatures, and we're going to paint them up, and hopefully they'll be really good. His will be really good. Mine will be hopefully really good.
It's great to see so many board games now have good components like this and wonderful minis that you can actually paint up and use for a variety of things, even beyond the game itself. As we were talking earlier, these would be great for the mouse guard RPG and different things. So you can do lots of cool stuff with them, and they're really nice figures. And I think they're going to paint up nicely. So
Jeff, before our coming on live and stuff, we've had some conversations about what we all do, right? So here at Game Trade Media, you know what I do. I'm the mascot, apparently. But Jeff has done some other stuff outside of just working. You work at Games and stuff.
I'm the operations manager at Games and stuff, kind of see the day-to-day, make sure the building doesn't fall down, make sure people get paid, all that, help Paul and the company, just get everything running. So
but you do something, you've done other things.
I have.
In this space.
I've been in the industry for over 20 years now, from Games Workshop to other things, and most recently I do a lot of freelance writing for various companies, Fantasy Flight and some others, and
So he's out there, ladies and gentlemen.
You can find some of my books, for instance, the Star Wars RPG, the old 40K RPGs, and some other things that are forthcoming that haven't been announced yet that I can't talk about.
Dang it. I was hoping we'd get him to loosen his tongue.
Oh, those pesky NDAs.
The worst.
Yes.
So let's just get started.
Yeah.
And say hi to everybody that's in the chat. We've got Byron and Craig and James is with us. Joshua, Drew from 1 Inch Heroes. Walter's with us. Chris Cox. Everybody's with us. Even Gretchen's watching. Hey, Gretchen. And Timothy. Go Robo Jeff.
Yeah, that's a friend of mine from back. He lives up in New Hampshire. He said he was going to make sure he jumped on and badgered us today.
Perfect. He has successfully done so.
So I'm going to start out with some cockroaches, bug things.
James says, Rick is the mascot. When I think GTM, I think of Rick. Thanks, man. Keith says hi. Keith Compton, hello. All right. So you're doing a brown wash?
Flesh wash, because it'll have a little bit of reddish tone to it. And I'm just throwing that straight over the white to see how it flows into the various cracks and crevices.
Nice.
I thinned it down a bit. It may need to go on thicker if you want to use it straight out of the pot. We're going to try also one with a brown first before we go ahead and put the wash on it and see how that looks.
And there's like this little salamander creature that I'm painting. I'm doing a green wash on it, and then I'll go back and highlight it after that dries with some other colors. And, yeah. So yeah, we're going to start off with a little green wash on this cat and then come back to it with some highlights afterwards.
It's fun to experiment when you prime white with what you can do straight over the white washes and things to just see how they come out.
Yeah. So you guys at Games and stuff have some really good paint stations.
Yes, we have a 8-station painting area as well as 2 airbrush setups, so you can come in with your airbrush. We have compressors available and painting hoods to spray your airbrush in.
Nice. So if you were to say, out of all the folks that come into your store and use those spaces, because I know that sometimes it's people who don't necessarily need to come in to paint, but they do because of the community aspect.
Community, yeah. We have people that come in we have one gentleman who comes in every day and hangs out, to
Yeah.
get his paint on.
Nice.
So yeah, it's the camaraderie of just hanging out and painting and chatting with people and
Yeah.
is part of the fun.
So you would recommend to other retailers out there, other game stores, if they do not currently have a paint space, that it might be worth putting in their store?
I think it's absolutely crucial. If you're a big miniature store, having a painting area is vital to the community. Not only does it help you with your sales, you can sit down and show customers tips and tricks, and it just does wonders for your miniature sales and your paint sales.
Okay.
The number of times as people are sitting there painting and realize, oh, I need this color, or I want to try this or that, and then buy a couple pots of paint.
Perfect.
It's something that definitely does really well in the retail area.
Okay. And of all the people that come in and paint at your shop, who do you think would be like one of your, if you could give a shout out to one of the better painters in your shop, who would you say is like that guy right there, or that gal is the one that is really a standout artist?
There's quite a bit. We have the luxury of, in this area, of being formerly the Games Workshop hub for the former U.S. headquarters. So we have a lot of former employees and other things that all come on there. Folks like Jake Landis, who I know is painting at the shop today, fantastic painter, Golden Demon winner,
Wow.
Just other things. We see lots and lots of great painters.
Okay. And that's another part of that community thing, is if you have the space, these great painters will come in and paint at your shops and then be champions to the hobby and get novices and beginners
Absolutely.
more engaged.
Another great thing luxury that we have at Games and Stuff is, we have at least 5 people on staff that are all very, proficient painters, and so pretty much any day of the week there's probably somebody there that can sit down and answer questions or give you painting advice or help you find the right colors that, to do whatever you're trying to achieve. We really try to go out of our way to make sure we can answer any and all questions that people may have in the painting realm.
Okay.
And that includes airbrushing and, lots of other areas.
Nice. Yeah, that's a space I haven't really jumped into. I bought an airbrush machine. The compressor, the tubes, the airbrush brushes, and I have not opened it up and used it yet.
It can be a little daunting at first. I know I was definitely unsure, but once you give it that first go and you realize it is pretty easy to get a good handle on it, and that you can use that to then speed things up so much in terms of cranking out base coats and just terrain and lots of other things. People really feel that they're changed from that point on. Like, wow, how did I not do this earlier?
Okay.
So definitely, it's worth the try.
Okay. And the fact that you guys and other hobby stores have stations that you can actually come in and give a test at it is another benefit to the hobby.
Absolutely. We have a couple, store airbrushes that we can, sit you down, show you how it works before you make that plunge, because it can be expensive, sure, but in the end, just like any other tool, it can add a lot to your repertoire.
Yeah. So we got a lot of people over on the YouTube side. What's up from the Campbells, and Mark is over there. Where's Dave? So Dave is in England, everybody. Has anyone reported Dave as missing yet? We are not going to report Dave as missing. Dave. Oh, I see what's going on. That's a rat. No, that's Dave. Where are you hiding, Dave? We demand to see the Dave. All right, so I think you all know where Dave is, and I think it's your fault that is a rat called Dave. Save Dave. There is no saving Dave. There is no Dave. There is only Zool. All right, everybody on YouTube, you guys rock. Thank you so much for jumping in and chatting over there. That's hilarious. There is no Dave, only Zool. Josh says, yay, Mice and Mystics, one I've already painted before. I think this was the first game I painted. My boys loved it. Loved the game. Craig Starn says, I don't thin wash it. I don't thin washes I have. They are already so thin. Yeah, they can be, sometimes they can come out and just be like super thin, but that might be because you didn't mix it proper or shake it up, and even the washes, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of trial and error. First time you use something, you have to kind of decide, is this particular one thin enough for what you hope to use it for, or does it need a drop of water? Sometimes it just helps with the flow.
Yeah.
But typically, yes, a wash can be used straight out of the pot. And
I think this mouse that I'm working on here, this one that kind of looks like a warrior with a long sword.
Yep.
I think I'm going to make him a gray fur mouse.
yeah, I was just thinking that this the wizard one might need to be white fur, like.
Ooh, Secret of Nim going on
Yes.
right there.
It's a horrifying movie I haven't seen in a long time.
Well, it's kind of interesting when you think about, how people have always found fascination in making our, mice these like human-esque characters in animation, from the mice from Cinderella to Secret of Nim, to what was there are others. There are always others, Mr. Burton, but I'm trying to think of. I can't think of them right now, but if you can think of other animated series, those of you watching that have utilized mice in such a way, put them in the chat.
Even down to old Shredder.
Shredder, yeah. Heck yeah. Master Shredder. I, for one, welcome our new terrain overlords. Mel, the terrain tutor, says hi. Hello, Mel. We have been terrainiac bombed. That's what it is. I love it. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate you joining us and picking on Dave, as we all love to do. Out of affection.
One of these years, I need to join Dave with a trip to Salute. It seems like quite the miniature show.
Yeah. Did you happen to watch the live stream that him and Mel did?
I did not. I saw some other coverage from the thing, but I didn't see that particular one.
Yeah, they did a live stream, and they just kind of showed a bunch of pictures off of different terrain setups that were there, and man, just the raw talent that's out there is ridiculous.
One of the fascinating things about Salute, as opposed to, it's one of the biggest miniature shows in England, but at the same time, it's from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. one day.
One day.
So people have spent weeks, months, probably since last Salute, getting ready for an event that lasts for, 5 hours.
It's wild.
So it's always interesting to me when, the amount of level of activity that people put into getting ready for Salute. And we're so used to Gen Con, 4 days, Origins, these big shows. But no, this is a short, sweet, one-day show that everybody packs into to release the new hotness, to see all the great table setups, crazy participation games, whatever it may be.
I'm guessing that you cannot get it all in a day. You know what I mean?
Well, especially not if you're
A
trying to
participant.
participate in a game or anything of that nature. I doubt that that's really going to happen. If you go to shop and run around and just see new releases, that's a little different. Jump over with a little dark tone wash.
I would almost be, I'd hazard a guess to say that if you were going there as a media rep just to take pictures and maybe do some interviews, you probably are still going to miss some
Oh,
stuff.
right. You're spending so much
Oof.
time with individual companies and getting ready, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's quite fascinating.
But that's why you hope that there are lots of people there taking photos and videos so that through them you can catch it all.
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag Pokemon. All right. So these miniatures are, I think, of just the right level of detail to give it that almost animated look, the animation
Sure.
vibe. Let's see what we got. Mouse Guard and Redwall come to mind. Absolutely. Master Splinter. Oh, Master Splinter, not Shredder. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Duh.
How long you guys been in the hobby? Ooh, James asking the hard questions.
32 years?
Okay. So you've been painting or working within the hobby for 32 years.
Mm-hmm.
Playing games, all that.
Since I started playing D&D when I was 12.
Okay. And what year was that?
1986? Yeah.
Okay. So I played my first game of D&D. I was 10 years old, and that was 1982. And I played it pretty steadily until 89 when I graduated high school, went into the Navy in 1990. Played it whenever I would go to like a new duty station. I'd find a group and play for a little while, and then you get up and transferred. But as far as like truly in the hobby, I kind of came back recently. So I would say I've been back in it for about 5 years now.
It's the one thing I've never had a break from. Never left. I've been involved in the hobby since that day, kind of nonstop. As soon as I graduated college, I went to work for Games Workshop.
Nice.
And then, then I left working for a few years, but then came back to work for Games Workshop for a second time, and then from there, freelance work to then to games and stuff and other things. So yeah, I've been involved in it as a hobby, obviously nonstop, but
Right.
and as a job for close to 20 years now too.
That's crazy cool. And if you
My
could,
mom still refers to it as that crap in your basement.
does she really?
After all those years, you still have all that crap down there. She's just never really caught it.
Yes, Mom. It's literally what paid for this house.
Exactly.
That I could put it all in the basement. That's funny. So, having been in the hobby and industry for as long as you have, is there still anybody within it that you kind of have like a celebrity like fandom for? That you might even geek out a little bit if given the opportunity to like meet them or whatever, if you haven't already?
Luckily, I've met most of the people. I've had my little celebrity crushes on, or whatever, fans of their books, or things
Right.
like that. So I don't know if there's still anybody. I used to be a huge fan of Forgotten Realms, and I've met Ed Greenwood a number of times, and other things, and just different authors and things from various game books that I've been fans of.
Okay.
We were lucky enough to bring Monty Cook out to the shop a couple years ago for our birthday celebration. Got to spend a lot of time with him, out to dinner, and he's a super nice guy.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite authors.
Okay.
There's lots of folks over time.
Yeah, I think even though I've had many opportunities to sit down and talk with him, and he even did a write-up interview for the book I did last year, the Overstreet Guide to Collecting Tabletop Games, is Larry Elmore.
I've met Mr. Elmore a number of times. He's my all-time favorite fantasy artist by far.
Mine too. And but I still geek out.
Yeah.
I still geek out every time I see him. Again, even though he he literally knows me by my first name now.
Right.
And it's still one of those like, you know, he knows who I am. It's like, it's just a really cool experience to, you know, having seen like someone's work like his or Eastley's or
Right.
anybody's, and then you get to like meet them and be like, your artwork or your writing with like Salvatore or Greenwood or Elaine Cunningham, who's one of my favorite writers as well.
I like her stuff a lot. Elf Shadow and
Mhm.
things were a great series of books.
And just be like, thanks for doing what you did, because it was a real big part of our, you know, coming up.
Absolutely.
So and have those geek out moments. Robert says hi. Hi, Robert. Robert Melick. Craig, I was 13 when I started in 1997. Whew. Man, 1997.
I was graduating from college then.
Nice.
Thanks for making me feel old, Robert.
James says that he met Monty Cook a few years back. Or were they calling me Devil? Craig says, I would rather play with Salvatore than with Matt Mercer. All right. I think that'd be a fun game sesh. Sit
Absolutely.
down with Bob Salvatore and be like, what's up? How long? Raptor says, looks like a good set to raid miniatures from for my Gamma World game.
Oh, yeah.
What did you do at GW?
I was the community and events manager, so I was in charge of games day and grand tournaments and all the events that people would attend, you know, all around the country.
Nice. That's not a bad job to have.
No, got to travel a lot, meet lots of great hobbyists all over the place. Lots of friends that I still have to this day from, you know, traveling and doing all those things.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another one of the things about the hobby, and that's for everybody out there, as you all know. One of the best things about this hobby is once you make a friend in it, you're almost a friend for life.
Absolutely.
You know, even through distance. Because I have friends that I made out in Hawaii when I was stationed out there, that when I go to Gen Con, if I see them, it's like we did not miss a beat
Right.
in anything, and we can, you know, start talking about whatever, be it D&D or, you know, a luau or you know, what's the new hip thing going out in Hawaii? Is it still Pogs? I don't think so. But
They're not that far behind.
and that's just like when I get to meet people that watch our program at different shows. It's just, again, we've made friends in this space that, you know, we'll be friends forever, which is awesome. Except for Dave.
Well, you know, I was lucky enough to meet Dave through our time at Games Workshop together, and you know, Dave's become a very close friend of mine over the years, and so yeah, the people you meet in whatever capacity in this hobby definitely stays with you.
Craig says, hey, I'm only 35. James says he started the hobby 1999, 2000. Rad. So Rad joins us in the group all the time, and Rad Algren, I just love his name, Rad Algren, Space Explorer. He started playing D&D and painting in 1977. What's your favorite game from GW?
Anything fantasy, Warhammer, and now Age of Sigmar, I've become a huge fan.
Okay. I can see that. Age of Sigmar is pretty cool.
The imagery is just so iconic and cool, and varying levels of, you know, from giant monsters to really cool just little characters. And
the giant monsters are pretty awesome. Those are some miniatures that the detail on those are just, whew, anytime. It's just like always good. Always extremely detailed. Uh-oh. Man down.
the mouse tried to escape, but didn't get far.
Oh, there's another one. Despero. And Ratatouille.
Yes,
Two more.
Ratatouille.
Dang.
My sister loves Ratatouille.
It's good. Little Chef.
I think I've seen Ratatouille probably more than any other Pixar movie.
Wow.
My daughter was really into it for a while and just watched the heck out of it.
It makes me want to have the dish.
That, you know, I don't think I've ever actually had Ratatouille.
It's good. It's actually really healthy. Yeah. This blacksmith like mouse is like just beast mode. He's like super stocky in the shoulders. It's like, yeah, this guy's gonna crush some stuff. He's gonna crush these little cockroaches. So I don't know much about Mice and Mystics as a game. It basically says, in Mice and Mystics, players take on the roles of heroes still loyal to the good King Andon. But to escape the clutches of Venestra, they have been turned into mice. Play as cunning field mice who must race through the castle, now 20 times larger than before. The castle would be a dangerous place with Venestra's minions in control, but now countless other terrors also await heroes who are but the size of figs. Play as nimble Prince Colin and fence your way past your foes, or try Nesbellows, the burly smith. Ah, Nesbellows, that's his name. Cool. Lash out at your foes from afar as the wizened old mouse Maginos, or protect your companions as Tilda, the castle's former healer. Every player will have a vital role in the quest to warn the king, and it all will take careful planning to discover Venestra's weakness and defeat her. Ah. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, and there's been a number of expansions, and you know, it's quite a popular game. It's done really well.
Good job, Plaid Hat.
Yeah, it got a lot of awards.
Oh,
Sorry, y'all.
I feel like if we look at the box, did it have? No. No, it did not. This box did not have it. Because you know how sometimes a box will have like awards that they've been given? That one does, this one doesn't have it. That's too bad. Let's see what we got going. Here's a weird question. If you got transformed into a miniature, what would it be and why? Flushed. Yep, flushed. That's a good one too. Good job, Ross. If you got transformed into a miniature, what would it be and why? I feel like if I got transformed into a miniature, it'd be either a furbolg or a hill giant. Or maybe an ogre, something like that. And not a Shrek ogre, a dirty old D&D ogre.
Yeah, I would have to hope for maybe like a mage or something.
Can we move the little screen? What little screen are we asking? This? You guys want that moved out the way?
No.
No?
What did you say?
Someone said, can you move the little screen? Hey, Rick and Jeff, do you ever use mini holders to paint? If not, why not?
Yeah, I often do, from the Citadel paint handle or other things. These ones don't necessarily fit as well because
No,
of
they
the
don't.
tiny bases.
Yeah.
But yes, I often do.
We can do it with this one. And I do have a Citadel holder right here. I just sometimes forget that I have one.
Depends on the base that the model's on or whatever.
Yeah. Patton Oswalt. What about Patton Oswalt?
He was Ratatouille.
Mice and Mystics based on Mouse Guard. I don't know.
No, I think
Oh, I don't know. Dave Cruz was asking, can you move the little screen so that we can see the others? The live and number of viewers is blocking it.
I did.
Yeah, okay.
That fixed it.
Okay. Now, there's a guy on eBay selling a Baylor from Reaper Minis for $200 if painted for $25 for people with the same detail. Huh. I've painted it, that's what he said. All right. The story is the best part of Mice and Mystics. I bought audio files of Rich Solmers reading the narration, and it's fantastic. Not sure which is my favorite, either Mice and Mystics or Stuffed Fables. Oh, Stuffed Fables is good too. One in Chiro says I mostly use a wine or champagne cork with blue tack on top for holding the miniature.
that just means you drink too much, Drew.
Yeah. Byron says he'd be a purple worm. Man, Flushed. That was such a good movie.
I don't remember that one.
That was one where Hugh Jackman was the voice of the mouse or the rat or whatever that was a house rat and then gets flushed by another rat and ends up in this city, and there's a scene where before he gets flushed, he's sitting there and he's gonna dress up. He's gonna go on a date with Barbie, and he's pulling out these different costumes, and one of them is a Wolverine.
Oh, nice.
I was like, nice. I want to say that was a DreamWorks animated
Okay.
show. But it was good. It had a great musical aspect to it.
Sure. Hugh Jackman involved.
Hmm. I was actually just watching The Greatest Showman last night.
I love that movie.
Yeah. The soundtrack of that movie is ridiculously good.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see it, Leona?
Yep.
Okay. It's about halfway through the show. We got some miniatures to look at, yeah?
Yep.
Let's do that. So as all of you know that watch, Leona farms the Painting Happy Little Minis group. And if you haven't joined it, you should, because we like to show off your work. And here's some of the work that's been done this past week. So Andrew Allenbeck had, I can't pronounce that.
Caradron Overlords.
That's what it is.
Yes.
Those are the dwarvish.
The new, like, Sky Pirate dwarves from Games Workshop.
All right. And they look pretty cool. I like the hot air balloon with the, it's just a clean white ship that he put together. It's nice.
Very nice job.
So Brian King, from Dragon's Den Miniatures, down in, not sure where they're at, but that green dragon is nice. I'd slay it though. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd slay the dragon, but you know, I got shot in the knee with an arrow, so this dragon is gonna luck out this time. Oh, spiders from Reaper. Nice,
Very
good job,
cool.
Brittany. That one on the left looked almost real. Brody, was that a?
Little doggy.
That looks like, is that weird or is that WizKids? I can't tell. It could be WizKids, the base
Mm-hmm.
being what it looks like, but that's really cool. Good job, Brody. Chris Gorka, Abexis, the young wizard and Venom Crawler.
Yeah, Venom Crawler from Shadow
Jesus.
Sphere, and very nice.
What's Abexis from?
Recognize that.
I saw these miniatures he put up, and they're just sick. I mean, he's such a good painter, Chris is. Good job. Chris Holdridge, Phobos Librarian.
Yeah, that's another new Shadow Spear mini that Dave and Drew painted a couple weeks ago.
Man, look at that. That's a cool miniature. That creature looks like something you'd see in a post-apocalyptic anything. Fallout even. Nice. Clive Mills with a, oh man, I know what this is from. Goonies.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I want to say that's Chunk from Goonies. Good job. Cursed Dice. What the? Wow. That's cool. The bone work on that skull is so good. Good job. Our good Dave Schrumpf Gray Slot and Death Slot from WizKids.
Very nice.
Again, I'd kill him. My barbarian would get him. But those are good. The Crimson Fist Librarian from Drew.
Very cool.
Shadow Spear and Custom Tabaxi Bard. Dang. Look at the pattern work.
Drew picked up that Tabaxi Bard at Games and stuff.
Did he?
I had special order that for him.
Nice. Man, his quilt work on that is so
very
good.
nice.
Jeez. Good job, Drew. Jordan with a Centaur and Asimar Paladin. All right. I can dig that. That Centaur, it looks like coming right off the pages of Harry Potter. Getting ready to take, what's her name, off into the woods. Like, Umbridge, yes. Mini Pain Studios. Josh down there with a ReaperCon entry and Kingdom Death. Okay, so his purple flame on that Kingdom Death is...
Yeah, that's the smoke, the Gold Smoke Knight, I think. Yeah.
So good. Josh is another one of those painters that is just phenomenal. And that project I told you about outside,
Yeah.
I think I'm going to reach out to him. And Drew. And Chris. Kevin St. Pierre, Silver Moon Army Soldier. Silvery Moon. So that's a Forgotten Realms character. Very cool. I can dig it. Good job. Kelly Scott with a Hero Forged Tiefling Rogue.
Oh, okay. Nice.
She's
Very
such
cool.
a good looking miniature. Good job, Kelly.
Yeah, I see more and more people try the whole Hero Forge,
Custom,
custom made
yeah.
models. Very interesting.
I did one, but the price point was just not, so then I'd come back.
Right.
Louis Anthony, painted by his hobby store 20 years ago. What? These are some old paints right there.
Wow, some very classic Ralpartha looking models and probably some
What was the other one from?
Grenadier.
Grenadier, yeah.
Yep.
Very cool. Good job, everyone. Again, if you're just tuning in and you haven't joined our Facebook group, Painting Happy Little Minis, please go over and check it out. We'd love to have you as a part of our community, as you allow us to be a part of yours by watching us at home or at work or in the car at lunch or wherever you're watching us. We appreciate it. I still like the fact that Byron said he'd be a purple worm. That's just the best. Craig says he's got that same Centaur figure. James says, there's a Goonies game? Yes. Dang. There are so many good painters out there. Rick or Jeff, how do I not make my mini faces look like they stepped on a Lego? That is a great question. One that I am not good at answering because I don't paint faces.
It's all about finding the right blend of skin tones. So you don't have that extreme scream kind of look to your face, like you said, like you stepped on a Lego. A lot of that can be achieved by mixing colors and taking your dark flesh to your slightly lighter and mixing a little bit in at a time here and there and building up from there. If you're going to use like a flesh wash into the creases, you just want it to look natural. You don't want an extreme. None of us have a deep black or brown, extreme around our areas on our face. So think of that when you're doing your miniature too, and just make it look as smooth and natural as possible.
Okay. Whereas I haven't mastered that technique at all.
It's just something that will only happen with time and practice, really.
Yeah, my whole technique with faces and eyes is I don't do eyes.
Okay.
I just wash so that the wash will get into the eye areas and it gives you that little bit of a shadow there over the eye look.
One thing I will recommend, I don't know if you have any here, but in the Games and Gears line is the katana.
The katana,
The
yeah.
little rubber tip, because then you always have that same point and
Yep.
dot your eyes, with that. And one of the easiest things for you when doing an eye, honestly, let me see if I can grab a little. So if you have an eye here, say, do a dark first, okay? So you're going to do your whole dark area of the eye, darken the whole socket, and then come back with some white, and then kind of paint your center of your eye, so you still have a little bit of dark on the outer scope, and then come back in, and then just dot your center. And that way you have a nice bit of shadow around the pupil, and you don't want to get that bright,
Right.
crazy look to your eye.
Like someone's always hitting you with a freaking hooded lantern.
Exactly.
You're ruining my night vision. Anyone mentioned flushed? Yes, we got that. Okay. Oh, flushed away. Yeah, that's what it was called. Flushed away. The singing slugs. Yes, Mike McGee. That was the thing from Flushed Out. I thought was funniest. The singing slugs. One Inch Hero says, "Speak for yourself, Jeff. Some of us are non-Euclidean horrors made of eyes and teeth." Carol says, "I need to get some painting done and posted. I'm bummed I didn't make the romper room mirror today." What a great reference. Yes, everybody needs to paint something and post it so next week, or well, technically Thursday, we can have some more to show off. Post up all your works. And the romper room will be open. Which is always fun. All right, I'm going to post some of my Blood Bowl minis. Yes! I love Blood Bowl minis. James has the Skaven team, the Thanquil Thrashes. Yes. Matthew Bowles is watching. Hey, Matthew. Very cool. All right. So, what are some other projects that you can talk about that are going on in your world there, Jeff?
Let's see. I just finished a big terrain miniature project for a convention I was at, so I ran some fun stuff there.
Okay.
Next up, we have the store birthday coming up in May, so I'm going to be doing another big giant participation game, dungeon crawl style game there that I'll be doing some new models for and some cool terrainy bits. And
Nice.
so working on that. Trying to convince myself to maybe do a new 40K army.
Nice.
Just always too many ideas, not enough time.
Ah, yes. The tragedy that is our is our hobby.
Yes. So guys, keep jumping out of my hand.
Dylan says, "Getting some terrain that I 3D printed, painted up for my upcoming D&D session. I'll fight against a mechanical dragon." Nice. That should be fun. I don't know how I feel about fighting a mechanical dragon, though. It's like, dang it.
Jeff,
Yeah.
what kind of terrain did you build?
I used a lot of crazy dungeon stuff from Dwarven Forge, and then I also built some of my own odds and ends to kind of go with that. Painted up some terrain miniature stuff from like Mantic's Terrain Crate to populate the town. Lots of tables, chairs, things like that. And then I added a lot of new crazy cool models and monsters for the adventurers to fight in and fight against.
So you showed me the pictures of these on your phone. Would it be possible to coerce you into posting them up in the group?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
I did share them on the Dwarven Forge group, and I got a lot of good feedback, and people were excited, including some of the Dwarven Forge folks, like old Stefan Pokorny, creator of Dwarven Forge.
Nice.
He commented that it was epic, so I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. He's a pretty cool cat.
Yeah, definitely.
And there's so much cool dungeon terrain being made now that I think the next year and a half, the hobby is going to get some really cool stuff.
Yeah, definitely. As we talked about earlier, from all the great stuff from like WizKids and other things, and even their pre-painted line, these great case incentive type sets, Hallister's Lab and things that just recently came out. You can do some great, visual gaming with.
Yeah. I really like the new Mausoleum and Graveyard set.
That's coming out with the Pathfinder set. Yep.
Yeah, I really like that.
Yes. So I think the wizard is what I'll call done.
Lucky.
Quick rundown on that. I went with red eyes because, well, it's a white little mouse. I figure, it'd have some spooky red eyes.
Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, he looks good.
Is he holding something in his tail?
Yes, he has a scroll.
Nice.
I like the fact that how this is all talking about, like, even if they were still full-sized human characters in the game, they would have to fight against the threats of the main bad girl there. But now that they've been turned into mice, they're fighting cockroaches and a spider.
Right.
And, this caterpillar or centipede-looking thing. It's like, oh, right. All the best options. All right. Yeah, that mouse is so good. So, fun fact, Mice and Mystics is what brought me back into painting minis after a 20-year hiatus. So glad I came back. That's from Mike McGee. Sweet.
Very cool.
Oh, don't forget his pet ladybug on his shoulder. Is that what that is?
Is that? I thought it was a pouch.
Huh. It's a pet
Probably
ladybug.
good to know if you knew the game. Then you'd know that is okay. I see now why that would be a ladybug. Oh yeah, good point. Because I thought it was kind of a weird place to have a pouch like on the arm of his sleeve. That's why I just left it blue as part of the cloth.
Yeah, Josh said amazing work for just for 40 minutes, Jeff.
Now I got to do that ladybug though.
Yeah, it's amazing to see when you have new people. I mean, granted, Jeff has been here before and painted with us, but when you get to sit down and watch new talent come in and just do stuff like that in 40 minutes, blow you away every time. What?
That drone.
Greg says spell component pouch on the sleeve is what I thought it was too. Greg says he posted some stuff in it, including his Baylor. Nice. All right. So what's everybody watching on Netflix right now? Because I just got done watching The Last Kingdom.
My friend raves about that show, and I still have yet to watch it, and how amazing it is.
It's pretty good.
I was totally blown away by Love, Death, and Robots.
Oh my God, you're right.
So good. Want so many of those little short stories to be turned into full episodes or movies or something.
Episode number 3 alone, with the robots touring the city,
Yes.
was amazing.
That I love the farmers,
The farmers and-
with the bugs
Mhm.
and the secret war, the Russian army and the demons, and just great episodes. Hope that they do many more seasons of that show.
Same. It definitely had like a old time heavy metal feel.
Heavy metal, Liquid Television, all
Yeah.
those kind of
Yep.
anthology shows. Really, really enjoyed that. Obviously, I'm sure everyone's excited about Sunday and Game of Thrones.
Yep. I won't be able to watch it until next Sunday.
All right, when you're leaving for your trip.
Mm-hmm.
I'm currently watching the new season of The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
Oh, that dropped?
Yep.
Okay. I know what I'm watching now before I leave.
Surprisingly, I was surprised how much I enjoyed the first season of that show.
Yeah, the first season, I wasn't expecting it to be as gritty.
And yeah, exactly.
And the fact that it still fits the thematic
Mm-hmm.
was really refreshing.
Yeah, overall, very, very much enjoyed that.
I'm also curious as to who went and watched Shazam this weekend.
That I did not see.
You did not?
No.
Okay.
I am hoping to get out and see Hellboy this coming weekend, though.
Yes. I would recommend Shazam. I watched it with my kids on Saturday. And, you know, is it the best superhero movie? No. Is it a fun, entertaining ride? Yeah, absolutely.
And sometimes that's all you need with
Yeah.
a superhero movie.
I mean, because bottom line, it's a comic book movie.
Sure.
They're supposed to be fun. And they did a really good job with this one.
Sure, I got my Avengers tickets, that's for sure.
Yep, same.
I've made a giant mess.
So there's another great question, which I think we got time for one last big movie-esque
Grab
question.
another little paladin bit.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Is
Thank you.
who do you think they're going to tease the next big bad at the end of the end game?
I read that that Marvel wasn't going to talk about anything else until after Spider-Man: Homecoming. So we might, I don't
Or
know
Far
how
From Home?
Far From Home, I mean,
Yeah.
yes. So we might not see anything,
Okay.
too hinting yet until that's taken care of.
Okay.
So but it'll be interesting. They have to do something, at least some sort of stinger to
I
try
agree.
to set things up.
What does everybody hope it might be?
My original plan kind of got shot down by Captain Marvel.
And that was the Skrulls.
The Secret Skrull, the Secret Wars kind of thing, and
I thought that was a neat twist on how to portray the Skrulls.
I agree. I enjoyed it, but it's just not what I kind of was hoping they were going to do.
Right.
But yeah, because so much of it depends on if everybody lives or not.
Right.
I'd love to see them do more with Thor and the Realm stuff now that I'm reading the Realm War new comic, but you have so many classic Avengers-y villains and
Right.
things, you know.
That we haven't even seen.
Could they go the route of Kang or someone, you know, if they do more
Mm-hmm.
time travel-y stuff in this movie? You know, you never know. It just all depends on where the movie goes.
Right.
Do they go more cosmic and get Annihilus or something?
That's,
you know,
see,
it just
Annihilus is who I'm hoping for.
right,
And bringing Rick Ryder Nova
right.
into the fold would be so good.
But will we see that more after Guardians 3 with Adam Warlock and, you know, other things happening? So only time will tell.
So some people have seen Shazam. Craig says the robots and the cat was the best on Death, Love, and Robots. Umbrella Academy is great. I agree. Matthew says the Tick on Amazon is good. Hi, Brandy. Brandy Kroger's in there. One of the only 3 recent DC movies I liked, Wonder Woman and Aquaman, a standalone, was great. Avengers was on Jimmy Kimmel last night. Craig says he wants another Venom. You're going to get it. Drew said he watched Us last night. It was pretty good.
Oh, right, yeah.
Byron says Silver Surfer and Galactus. I hope not. Not yet.
Well, you got to introduce the Fantastic Four and all
Right.
the newly reacquired properties, I think, before we can go on the Galactus Surfer route.
Walter has a good one. I want Rom and the Space Knights. I do too.
I loved the ROM toy as a child.
Rom is such a great character. Could we see a Secret War, like the original?
The original
Marvel
one with-
superhero Secret War,
With the
Battle
the
Planet.
battle planet, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, if they introduce the X-Men and Fantastic Four in some capacity in the near future in the core MCU, maybe, because those 2 groups were integral to the success of that story, I thought. So they could definitely do it.
See your mini.
Okay.
All right. I just painted the
The Ladybug.
ladybug.
Nice.
Oh no!
Ah.
No.
And what I've gotten done with him so far. Pretty neat.
Yeah, no, they were fun.
Yours look great. Yours look so good. I gave my mouse green eyes, and there's lots more to do with him. That old wizened wizard mouse looks good. So cool. Very cool.
Well, thanks for having me on today. It was fun.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for joining us. And if you guys are in the Maryland area, make sure you go check out Games and Stuff and see Jeff down there.
We're
And,
always happy to help you with any of your
yeah.
hobby needs.
And all the other awesome stores in our area, to include Alternate Worlds.
Yeah.
But if you are not in our area, and obviously most of you are not, I hope that you do go to your friendly local game store and support them and be a part of your local gaming community. If they don't have anything going on in regards to the hobbies that you enjoy, maybe become the store champion for that product.
Yeah,
If-
believe me, stores love it when people step up and help
Mm-hmm.
them because there's only so many hours in the day, you know, and we'd like to see our families too, that we can't run
Right.
a million leagues and games as much as we'd love to. So we
Right.
need awesome customers to come in and help us with that.
Yeah. And, there's always going to be some potential benefits to that. One, just you're going to make new friends and have a great opportunity to play the games you enjoy with new people and
Absolutely.
share the joy. Again, one last shout out. Make sure you go and check out our Facebook page for Painting Happy Little Minis. We also have a couple contests going right now on Game Trade. One is on Twitter, and the other one is on our Facebook page, where you could win either the Adventurers Campsite Premium
Great
Edition,
set. Yep, very cool set.
and the other one is for the White Draco-Lich by
Oh,
WizKids.
very cool.
Which is
A
one
classic
of the,
set, yeah.
one of the premium miniatures there too. So go to Twitter and our Facebook page and check those out and participate, and maybe you'll win one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, all sorts of
Great.
good stuff. Thanks again, Jeff.
Thank you.
And so I'm Rick,
And I'm Jeff.
and we'll see you at the game store.
Have a
Thanks for watching Painting Happy Little Minis. If you liked it, leave a like and a comment below, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any new content.